Listen, guys, a lot of people do not understand what it means to, like, oh, well, what's my purpose in life and how do I find this? And you're right, there's no age restrictions on that. What I'm basically telling you is there are human principles and laws just working with nature, period. People, and here's another example of abundance. That's why, we were provided with different energies, the masculine energy and the feminine energy. And the masculine energy, yeah, that's where you want to do things. You want to, quote, hustle, or you want to work, you want to do things. But if you want to understand your purpose and try to find whatever you want to find, you got to get still for that. That is of the feminine energy. You got to get still. You want to be in a creative energy. You want to rest. You want to receive. You want to receive information, right? So how do you do that? You got to get still. And yes, I'm going to have people that say, oh, well, I can't get still. Well, you're right. If you can't get still, if you tell yourself that, then you won't get still. But all I'm saying is just pure basic universal law. There's a time when you need to be still, when you're seeking clarity, and there's a time when you need to move on that clarity when you harness the masculine energy. It's not about, I don't care what genre you identify with, but if you tell yourself you can't do it, then guess what? You're just not going to do it. Too many people fight against nature and fight against what the universe has provided freely. Y'all, really quick, let me pick it back off this last video I just posted. And when I say be still, I'm not talking about you have to meditate and all of that. Some people, they can't do that. I get that. But guess what? Being still or doing anything creative, some people love to bake. You know how many messages you can get just from cooking? You know how many messages in your spirit you can get from just baking? You know how many messages you can get from just even waking up from a nap? You know how many messages you can get in from your dreams? Of clarity. How you think, like, y'all gotta understand, when I'm talking about being still, I'm talking about not worrying about chasing anything. I'm talking about being still in however that you can be still, but being still, aka being creative. You know how many messages you can get from doing puzzles? You know how many messages you can get from doing diamond painting? You know how many messages you can get from, okay, if you do want to meditate, you know how many messages you can get from, gardening? You know how many messages you can get from just riding in your car? I'm going to go for a ride. You know how many messages you can get from listen here, and well, maybe not here because we be up here, but listen here.